want to wish a happy afternoon to everyone, and welcome to the Scott Middle School virtual tour. And we'll give it a little bit of time before we get into it. But I want to introduce myself. My name is Mr. Browning. I'm the assistant principal here at Scott Middle School. Um, right here, coming up, will be our principal, Mr. Hicks.
Hi, welcome everybody. My name is Jeremy Hicks. I'm the principal of Charles and Scott Middle School. Welcome to our virtual tour. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Mrs. Rodriguez Jones. I'm your Dean of Students, and I'm excited to meet all of you.
So before we turn these lights off and show you the screen behind me, this is unprecedented. We never, outside of today, never done a online virtual tour. So hopefully you guys get something away from this. We're going to show you some things that like where to go in the morning, so where to enter, where to exit, where your locker might be, where classrooms will be, cafeteria, gym. That way, when you guys do arrive here in August, you'll have a better understanding of where everything is. And nothing is perfect, so we expect there might be some confusion your first week of school, and we're here to try to minimize any confusion that you might have. So without further more, we're going to turn these lights off. Okay. So again, welcome to Scott Middle School. You guys are the class of 2027. So hopefully in 7 years, we would love to see you guys walk across the Morton High School stage at that point. These next few slides, like we mentioned, they're going to show you what your next 3 years is going to be like here at Scott. And before I click on, if you have questions, if you want to comment on the comment section, we'll make sure we get to it. Hopefully everyone can hear us or see us. Both of them would be great. So if you can maybe comment, thumbs up, or I hear you, I see you, thank you, good afternoon, any of those, just to let us know that we are being seen or heard. That'd be great. So this is where in the morning you would enter if you are a 6A student. So before you ask, am I a 6A student? The answer to that will be answered in August. So you won't know for a few more months if you're a 6A or 6B. However, if you are a 6A student, you're going to enter the building at either door T or door U. Where is door T, door U? They are in the southwest corner of Scott Middle School, basically on the corner of 173rd and Grand Avenue. So that is going to be the the 6A entrance. 6B is going to enter through doors B and W. Those doors will open at 7:20 in the morning. Doors VW are right by, obviously, doors T and U. So they're going to be on the southwest corner of the school, right on Grand and 173rd Street. So if you're looking on where to go, I guess it's closer to the train track, if that makes any sense. However, we have students that may get here early in the morning. Door C over here, it's right by the main office. It's in the front parking lot. That is our cafeteria, C for cafeteria. That door would open at 7 a.m. That's the only door that opens at 7 a.m. Students that want a hot breakfast, that's where they would go. So if you're, for example, if it's January, it's cold out, and you're here at 7 in the morning, this is an option for you, and you can get a hot breakfast during that time. And again, that's for all students, 6A or B. Now, some students, or when you do walk into the building, you're going to go to your locker, and then you're going to go to your breakfast line. So right here on this wall, that's going to be the breakfast line for 6A. So on a typical weekday, this wall is going to be filled with a line of 6A students. So that is where 6A students will line up. Notice the water fountain right here, so it's going to be right next to the water fountain. Also, we have a water fountain down there as well. The breakfast line closed at 7:25 in the morning. So again, you walk in, go to your locker, go to or get in line, I should say, and at 7:25, we have to close the line. We do expect probably the first week or two that, or maybe even 3 weeks, we'll add some more time just because it's going to be a little more chaotic than it is October, November. So this is where 6B would line up. On this wall, it says, "I am respectful." This is that wall for 6B students to be lined up for the breakfast. Again, same thing. 7:25 is when we close that line. Six A. This is the 6A hallway. Notice these green lockers right here. One of these lockers, if you're on 6A, will be yours for this next school year. If you notice these doors right here in the back, that is actually doors T and U. So these doors lead to these doors. So when you walk in, your locker will be right here if you're on 6A. The classrooms that we have over here, we have the core classes. So there will be the ELA class, which is English Language Arts. We also have math and social studies class in this location. The 6B hallway, very similar. Still have the lockers. And if you notice, these are doors V and W right here. Doors V, W. So you walk in these doors, and that's where you'll come in. So your locker is right there. So when you walk in, your locker is going to be either to your immediate left or right. Again, your core classes are on this side. You got social studies, language arts, and math over here. From your 6th grade hallway, you will be going to your applied academic classes. Applied academic classes include physical education, Spanish, Chinese, band, health, choir, general music, gateway to technology, STEAM, and others. So this is how we're going to get there. So bear with me here. These next few minutes, I'm going to show you what route to take. And it's not going to take you as long as I'm talking because we're going to make a few stops as well. So from 6A, if you notice, you've already seen this picture before. That was the breakfast line. So when you leave your hallway, you're going to go past the breakfast line towards the office, which we'll get to. 6B, you already saw this part. That's where it says, "I am respectful." That's your breakfast line. You're going to go past the breakfast line to go to your applied academic side. So if we keep on walking, we're going to get to this section right here. Students will continue to make their way towards the applied academic hallways by passing the student services office. So student services office is right here. There is where you would find your guidance counselor, your school counselor, Miss McNeely and Miss Dudzik. And you'll also find the registrar, Miss Hardy, and Mr. Johnson, our SEI. Miss Dudzik and Miss McNeely, they're going to be in charge of schedules. They, if you want to talk with somebody, they're there. If you have questions about maybe like study habits, academia, whatever, you can talk with them. Miss Hardy, pardon me, Miss Hardy is going to be the first person that you see when you walk into student services. So she's the face of that office. She is in charge of paperwork and helps keep the rest of the student services office organized. Mr. Johnson is going to be there to help with if you have any maybe a conflict with a friend. He's there to help mediate, which means help resolve these situations. Now we're going to keep on walking. Eventually, you're going to pass the main office. In the main office, you have our secretary, Miss Abeda, who is the face of that part. So she's going to be the first person. She's sitting right here, or would be sitting right here. Nobody's sitting there at that point. And then you also have Principal Hicks, myself, which is Mr. Browning, and you also have Dean of Students, Ms. Rodriguez-Jones, in this area. As you keep on walking, you're going to pass the attendance office and the nurse's office. The attendance officer, Ms. Williams, she's there if you show up late to school. This is where you're going to go to check in the morning. If you are getting picked up during school hours. So for example, you have a doctor's appointment. Parent or guardian is there to pick you up. This is where you are going to go. At no point will you go outside and wait for your ride. You'll check out right here, or you'll check in if you're late in this room. This is what the attendance office looks like. Ms. Williams would be sitting right here. She is great at pretty much anything. So if you have questions for her, she's there, and she was voted funniest Scott Middle School person 4 years in a row. So no pressure on her. Nurse's office. This is again nurse's office. If you are not feeling well, you must, and we should have probably capitalized this, but must first receive a pass from your teacher or adult within the building in order to report to the nurse's office. So, for example, if you're not feeling well, contacting parent would come from Ms. Wasowski, our school nurse. So, let's say you have a fever. This is where you would go, and Ms. Wasowski would call home and go from there. So she's our medical expert here. Next up is the Library Media Center, possibly my favorite slide here. You will also, on your way to Applied Academics, you're going to pass the Library/Media Center. Hint, hint, it's on the left. Inside the Media Center, classes might come to the Media Center for help with extensive research projects. You will need a pass in order to work in this area. If you have siblings that went here, if you ask them, chances are this looked a lot different when they were here than when you're coming here next year. So it was a lot more cluttered than it is now, and a lot more conducive for our students. Also here, you'll find Ms. Sanchez. She is our media specialist. She's here to help you with any, if you have Chromebook issues, she's there to assist you. As you go past the main office in the library, you're going to get to this hallway right here. This hallway is the officially the Applied Academic side. So I'm going to show you this right here. You can see that. This is a hallway, so it goes eastbound, and then on the very back part, there's another hallway. So the Applied Academics is basically two different hallways. This is the T. Let me move here. We call this the T. Eventually, you're going to come to a T in the hallway. If you continue straight, which would be down this hallway, you will be close to the STEAM, Chinese, Spanish, and Gateway to Technology classes. So with that, so if we go down that hallway right here, this is what it'll lead to. This is where STEAM, Chinese, Spanish, Gateway Technology class would be located. Now let's go back. This is right up here is where the T is. Okay. So instead of going straight, I'm going to turn. And if I turn, this is what I would see. In that hallway, you're going to find the cafeteria, you're going to find the gym, band, choir, and health class. So, again, east side of the building, this is the applied academic side. This is the gym. Now, again, just like we mentioned earlier, some of you guys might have siblings that went here, you have a cousin that went here. Chances are this gym looks a lot different than it used to. The first thing that students say that, they were here a few years ago and they came back, they say, wow, like the lighting is different. You couldn't tell that this was a light blue color. It was like almost like a gray color. So we got new lights installed last year, and the gym looks really nice because of that. In the gym, there's two physical education teachers. That's Mr. Britt and Mrs. Cillian. Across from the gym, you have the cafeteria. This is what the cafeteria looks like, with one difference. Obviously, there's going to be tables up and for places for people to sit. However, if you look right here, that is one of the lunch lines. And then on the other side, it looks the exact same as that. You just can't see it, so it's kind of like off camera. But you would be sitting, we would give you a designated area to sit. So students sit with their certain class. So just giving you a heads up on that. So you won't have to spend 20 minutes trying to figure out where you want to sit. It's going to be pretty much, here's your options. When you come into the cafeteria, one thing that we ask, and one of our rules is you get into line, you get your lunch, and you go to your seat. There should be no roaming around. There should be no being up out of your seat, going here and there. It's either your lunch line or your seat. And also in this back part right here, where this window is, there's another window here. That's where the snack line is. So some students that might want to purchase some chips or water, cookies, been a while, a granola bar, that's where they would line up. We do close that line 10 minutes before dismissal, so just giving you a heads up as well. If and only if you are a bus rider, this is the door that you will go out of. So this is door L. So I'm going to kind of backtrack a little bit. If you remember this part right here, if we turned right, this is that hallway. It had Spanish, Chinese class, STEAM. If instead of right, we go left, that's to that door right there. So door L is for students that ride the bus. This is their exit. If you notice right here, there's a yellow line. That's where students are, or that's where the buses will park for student pickup. Now you might ask, what if I don't ride the bus? What do I do? If you're on 6A, you're going to go out the same doors that you came in the morning, which is doors T and U. And if you're 6B, you're going to go out doors B and W. So how it would look is after your applied academic class, you would walk down to your locker. Again, if you don't ride the bus, you'll get your stuff and you'll exit out of the south exit. And again, if you guys have questions, feel free to comment. We also have our emails up, so feel free to comment that way as well, or to ask questions. These are two different hallways not to go. So two hallways that are off limits for you will be the 7th grade hallway. If you notice all these lockers, next year you'll this will be fair game. 8th grade locker, or I'm sorry, 8th grade hallway. This is where only 8th graders would be allowed to be. So, oh, and we got a question right off the email. Can you explain, or I'm sorry, what is a red zone? Oh, great question. Thank you, Patrick, for that. So I'll go over what that is. So red zone and green zone is something that you're going to hear a lot of when you enter Scott Middle School. And what that means is if it's a red zone, that means we shouldn't see it. So for example, if you have a phone or AirPods, headphones, that's great. We shouldn't see it. So a red zone would be in the hallways. So any hallways, it is a red zone. A green zone, typically it's the cafeteria during lunch and breakfast. The only thing I can say to that is it's subject to change, which means if students aren't picking up after themselves, then a green zone, which is they can be on the phone, they can listen to music as long as they have their headphones in. That'll go from a green zone to a red zone pretty quickly. So clean up after yourselves. This will be a green zone. And we got another question. It looks like Samantha. Thank you very much, Samantha. That's a great question. Samantha asked, locks. How much are locks? Great question. I love that you're thinking ahead already. So that's a good thing. Locks are actually $6. It's been the same since 1995. So if you want to purchase a lock, or you will need to purchase a school lock. So that is Miss Abeda will go around during during lunch hours and during advisories to help facilitate the lock sale. And it looks like no other questions at the moment, but want to say we're excited for you guys to join us here. You guys are the class of 2027, so we look forward to the next 3 years of your time here. Looks like Mr. Hicks has some ending comments, so put him on and have yourselves a great weekend, a great summer, and we'll see you in August.
Again, thank you for your participation. Some great questions out there. And keep in mind, we are going to be in communication via Parent Square, always an email away. So if you have anything that you thought of that you didn't get to ask, or anything that comes up, feel free to email us. We talk to students via email frequently, or even Parent Square. So our parents also take advantage of that feature that we offer within the school district. So have a great day. Thank you for your presence, and we look forward to a great 2020-2021 school year. Thank you.